All right.
Okay.
So, let me see. I know I got the.
We decided that you're
Outbreak.
giving a presentation on Mac OS and why everybody should switch away from Linux Mint to
Oh
Mac
yeah.
OS.
I mean, absolutely.
Are we doing next year's April Fool's show early?
I think so. That's the idea. Let me see.
Oh, my video's working on the live stream this
I
time.
noticed. So I don't know what happened last time. I really don't.
I think when you were doing a screen share, it pushed everybody off to the side, and you just got pushed down the list, Tony.
Yeah, well, there's 6 on there now because there's the 2 streaming bits, and then there's the 4 of us, and we're all there.
Yeah, I broke it. I was supposed to uncheck the box so we didn't see the things, but whoops.
Yeah.
It's all good. So anyway, we were talking a little while ago about my build. So there it is. Those are the things that I bought. Lots of RGB, so I can have that. I ended up buying a couple extra of these fans, these sickle flows. 140 mil. 2 of them sickle flows for the top of this case.
Can't see anything.
It's on the stream. You got to click on.
You gotta go on the stream.
Yup.
Right. Okay.
The live stream folks can see it.
That's what you bought.
Yeah.
Cool.
Let's see. Pop that chat out so I can talk to folks.
Oh, cool. So, next time's show, what we going to talk about?
No, I'm going to talk about my desktop, so hopefully I have it built by then.
Yeah, but that won't do the innards, though.
It could. We could just have a computer building innards. That's it.
Actually, building a new PC from scratch, what distro do you put on it?
Oh, well, I mean, obviously Linux Mint, but let me tell you something. I feel like I'm going to either have to, number one, go with the new kernel Linux Mint version, the Edge one or whatever they call it, or something like Pop OS.
Or something like Arch.
Or you could, if you want to actually spend 3 hours of your day building your desktop instead of building your actual desktop.
So there's a Linux Mint Edge, is there now?
Forget what it's called, but yeah, let me see. Linux.
You could just do Garuda, it'll be fine.
Kernel, maybe. I don't know how to find it. No. Oh man, I don't know what it was. Kernel 5.8. See if these guys have it.
There's a Linux
You know what?
Mint kernel 5.11.
Is there a 5.11?
Yeah.
Hey, it finally showed up. Yay.
It's in the forum. Let's have a look.
No, I need to know where it's at because this is...
No, this is just forum chatter.
I've heard it mentioned, and I know it was in one of the monthly newses a while back where... Oh, maybe it's under all versions.
How to install Linux kernel 5.11.
There it is. Here it is. Cinnamon Edge right here. This is the one. And it ships with the 5.8 kernel. So instead of the 5.4 as it normally would.
Is that the only difference in it?
I think so.
Cinnamon
Pretty sure it is.
So it's not it's not totally cutting edge, but it's a lot.
It just
follows newer
the...
than the.
Right. It just follows the Ubuntu kernels, the new one, whatever the new one is. And 5.11, I imagine there'll be a new spin of this with 5.11 soon? ?
So they're only doing that in Cinnamon. doing it in.
Correct. At least that's how I understand it. Yeah, look, latest Edge ISO. There we go. This is what I was looking for. So 20.1 Edge runs 5.8. So I imagine, oh, you know what? There might be a 20.2 when that drops. It might ship with a 5.11, but I might need 5.11 for this build. But I did see a lot of people saying 5.8 worked. So
Right. Cool. Let me go to the Linux Mint site. Download. Oh, version.
yeah, the motherboard, Dylan, on this one was a combination of a few things. I didn't need an X570 because I didn't need PCIe Gen 4 on everything. So that particular board has PCIe Gen 4 on the PCIe 16 slot for your graphics card. And then it's also got a PCIe Gen 4 in the M.2 slot, the first one. So those are really what I need. I'm going to, my video card will take advantage of that because the 5700 XT is Gen 4. And, I don't even have an M2 that would saturate that. But one day when I get one, I'll future-proof, whatever. The other slots are all Gen 3. So, there's a second M2 slot, but it won't be as fast as the Gen 4. And then there's a couple other PCIe ones on there that are all Gen 3. But I don't need that stuff to be fast because the only thing I plug in PCIe-wise is a graphics card and possibly a Wi-Fi card, which doesn't need Gen 3. And MSI, I like MSI. That's just, honestly, I like MSI. My last build was an MSI Tomahawk B350.
They tend to be kind of mid-range, don't they, budget-wise?
It depends on what you get. MSI, I think, will trade blows with Asus. I mean, I feel like they're on the same playing field, and it just depends on which board you get from both manufacturers. That really kind of makes the difference. But this particular one is mid-range.
Right.
Because I don't really need much. I don't need top-of-the-line everything. But it's got RGB, right?
Very nice.
And this little button, BIOS flashback. This is how you update your BIOS without owning a CPU that is currently supported by the board. Because I think the 5800X is going to be not supported out of the box, which is bad. But you can fix it with that, which is fantastic. This one is a rebuild of the X570 version with so this Northbridge is toned down, but the VRMs have new, better heat sinks, things like that. This will stay way cooler than its X570 brother. And I think that was pretty much it. Audio is all isolated, which is really cool. It's 6 layers, right? The PCB is made out of 6 separate layers, and each audio channel is on a separate layer, so they don't interfere with each other. So, not that I used the audio, but it's nice.
Good. It just shows me how long it is since I pulled the tower apart, because that motherboard, it's way different to the last time I pulled the tower apart.
Yeah.
My old Gen 3 i7 doesn't cut it anymore.
Mm-hmm. Dylan, for some reason, if you're more of an Asus guy, I think the analog to this one is the Tough, Asus Tough something or another, because it was a B550 as well. I can't remember exactly what it is. I think this is it. Gaming plus Wi-Fi.
I think it might be interesting to talk about this, especially your experience of if you get it built in time, your experience of how Linux is running on it and everything.
Oh yeah, because I guess you would consider this a new computer, even though these parts have been out for a while.
Yeah.
I guess unless you're bleeding edge, you don't need Arch. That's the secret.
When I've never had a computer in the last 15 years that's been anything other than about 3 or 4 years old, that is well cutting edge.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not too far behind you. I think the boards are about a year old. These motherboards are about a year old. The 5800X, I think that's about a year old by now. But I just couldn't pass it up because everything was on sale. Everything I bought, there was a discount on it. Or like this, I bought the 32 gig version actually, not the 16. But this, I got that $50 gift card back on, so couldn't pass it up. Couldn't do it. And the power supply is different. I have a Seasonic now. Actually, I really got lucky. One of my friends bought an extra. Not that he needed it. I think he just accidentally put 2 in the box, and then never sent it back. He just had it as a backup, so it's still wrapped in plastic and everything.
So you bought it off him?
He just gave it to me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, exactly. I'm lucky. I got very lucky on that. I think this is it. This looks like it. Another point, Dylan, is if you're building new, do not ever, well, in my opinion, don't ever buy a used power supply. Other parts, CPUs, things like that, you can buy used, but never a power supply.
Yeah, if you're buying a used power supply, you always wonder why it's been used and either sent back for manufacturer refurb or someone's flogging it on eBay or whatever.
Yeah, and I just never trust it. I don't feel like you can trust it. And the power supply is the one thing that if it blows up, it takes your whole build. It can take your whole build with it. So if you buy it new, you at least have a warranty and maybe some recourse on something like that. But that'll be it. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'll get it done before the show. We'll talk about it. And yeah, I mean, if y'all want that to be the innards, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Yeah.
We can talk about our experiences of building computers in the past. And
yep. Actually,
like
yeah. The machine I'm streaming on, I went through the same process, the same exact everything with this. That's a 1700 build, Ryzen 7 1700.
Yeah, works for me. I'll talk about the computer that I'm using right now.
Nice.
It acts as my server and my desktop.
Yep. And Dylan, you're right. Those power supplies, they've been creeping up. I remember I bought a Tough Grand Power something thermal take, 650 watt RGB, had all the craziness in it, for like $70. It was 650 watts, and now you find that same power supply is $100 now, 110. And then the one I was needing a 750 because this power supply is a little hungrier. And yeah, I mean 130. That's about the right price range for a power supply at 80 plus gold and 750 watts. It's about $130. And that's insane to me. $50 jump just for no reason, seems like. But then I guess we could just talk about the chip shortage as well, which will probably never end.
how much do you pay for the 32 gig of RAM?
It was right at about 200. I can't remember. Actually, let me just go look. I can't remember exactly though.
I don't remember mine either. I bought mine 16 gig at a time. The first 16 gig I got, I had to replace. I don't know if you remember that. I talked about it on the show. And then got another 16 gig, and then I was using most of it because of Chrome. So I bought another 16 gig and tossed it in there.
Yeah, this was it. I think it was a little less than 219. I'll have to look.
What's the maximum capacity for that board? Is it 64?
128.
128? Wow.
That would be
I mean,
expensive.
I'll never get there. I don't need that. That's an insane amount of RAM.
It's a bit of a jump from an old P4 that probably the maximum RAM on it was 2 gig.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Clayton, you were talking about distro watch, listing all the distros that we were going to put on a new build or something like that. I guess we could do what Late Night Linux is doing, just hit the random button and see if that works on the new build. It's going to give me Debian 9, watch. And it's like, our kernel is 4.19. You have hardware? That would be kind of funny. I bet Manjaro would work well. Pop! OS would work well. 2104 Ubuntu would probably work well. Maybe Debbie and what's the new one? Sid? Sid would probably work fine.
Random distribute.
Yeah. Tell me what you get.
Swift.
Oh,
Swift Linux. What?
Swift Linux.
Based on Debian MX Linux.
Uh-oh.
XFCE desktop. It's an active release, so yeah.
So Swift has MX keeps current kernel-wise, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I forgot. I was gonna talk to you guys about this.
Go on.
Hannah Montana Linux is alive and well, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh.
So is Taylor Swift. So is Twilight Zone and whatever Interstate is. So the jokes we were making about Hannah Montana, I had just assumed it was still that Ubuntu derivative where it was really just a wallpaper. But it's not. It's real. Still. So, okay, hold up. I have, yeah, okay, I have to do it. I have to put Hannah Montana Linux on this build. And we just need to find out whether or not Hannah Montana Linux is going to support 5800X and 5700XT and all this new hardware. I'm actually excited about this. What? All right, Clayton, this is your fault. This is your fault. You're making me put Hannah Montana Linux on here.
Hannah Montana Linux. Let's go and have a look.
Oh, no,
wow, this is the worst website I've ever seen this side of 1998.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
What do you mean 98? I think it was probably 95.
No, are y'all talking about Swift?
No, we're talking about Hannah Montana.
Hannah Montana.
I don't think it has a website though. It's on
Oh, it
Swift
does.
Linux.
It does. I'm on it.
It's on SourceForge.
Oh, well, that's just SourceForge.
No, it's their official home.
Let me see. So I click on the download and under the summary maybe?
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
Yeah, that's a pretty terrible website.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Welcome to hannahmontana.sf.net.
Ooh, gross. No. This isn't the one. How do you download it? Let me see. Downloads.
In the bottom left corner.
Yeah, no, that takes you to 2 Cows, man. I don't think it's the same one.
The website for it is hannahmontana.sourceforge.net.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's definitely not the right one because 2 Cows is dead now. That's sad. I used to download all kinds of stuff.
Oh, right. So that's the wrong one, is it?
Yeah, Clayton, you're probably right. It's just roadkill. You get awesome pictures of non-moving raccoons and possums and armadillos.
Download Hannah Montana Linux V2 ISO from 2 Cows.
Check this out, guys.
Wow, the FAQ says, how/why did you make such a great OS?
It's such a great OS, they say.
It's amazing.
So yeah, not available for download. At least not through there.
Yeah, so I put the link in Discord and in YouTube chat. Go check that out. That's the real one. Well, the new real one. And I have to now. Yeah, I have to. What Clayton says goes. And by the transitive property, Tony's random distro watch said Swift. And Hannah Montana's on the list. So seems to me I'm stuck. Sorry, Linux Mint 20.1 Edge Edition. Hannah Montana wins.
They have a new ISO too. It just came out on May 9th.
That's what I mean. I think the two websites are they don't talk to each other anymore. Oh. Did you get the is that rack mount? What is that? 2900 server? Oh, this is the tower, maybe, yeah? Yeah, tower. There it is.
Where did you post the Hannah Montana page?
It's in the Mintcast crew, General.
Okay, I see
Oh no,
Mike posted hannahmontana.sourceforge.net, and then I see Swift Linux.
Yeah, Swift
Yeah,
Linux. That one. Sorry, I was thinking.
And then underneath, you see all activity, and you can find the download for. Actually, I should have given you files, because that you go to Hannah Montana, then you can download here. Here's the more updated.
But there is a home page for Swift Linux.
Yeah, there is, and I thought that's what y'all were making fun of, how plain it looked. But that's one of the new trends is super minimalism.
Swift Linux. Welcome to Hannah Montana Linux, Interstate Swift Linux, Taylor Swift Linux, Twilight Zone Swift Linux.
Yeah. Clayton, which one of these processors did you get? The 5351 or 5000? Oh, you can get it in a 5U rack mount. God, that would be huge. If you did the, I've always wanted to do the IKEA rack, where the lack rack. It's the IKEA lack, little 4-post table, Parsons table, and it's exactly 19 point whatever inches wide, so you can rack mount stuff there.
Twilight Zone, Taylor Swift, Interstate, Hannah Montana.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's real. Should we do?
Yes.
Because we gave it so much crap the other day. Should we do a quick spin of Hannah Montana? Everybody.
No, I'm good.
Come on.
Come on.
It could be amazing. And it's really just it's really a test of Swift Linux and not Hannah Montana. So we could bill it as a Swift Linux thing, but I mean, I chose the Hannah Montana flavor.
I'm just downloading the Hannah Montana ISO as well.
Oh yes, yep.
I'd have to find a computer that I'd be willing to put it on, and I don't know. Today probably isn't the best day to
put it in a VM.
Yeah, today probably isn't the best day to ask me. I'm feeling extremely unmotivated with the broken refrigerator.
Oh, I got you. Oh, the 5405. Nice. Yeah. So the fun thing about those, Clayton, I love all of the commodity hardware, like the hardware that gets sold by companies that don't need it anymore or anything like that. One of the things you got to watch out for is when you buy that second CPU, you got to remember to take that memory and split it, because there's going to be two memory channels, essentially, specific different spots on the motherboard, and you've got to populate both if you have two CPUs, and evenly. Otherwise, it gets hairy. It'd probably work, but let's see what we got. Hey, not bad. Not bad at all.
Yeah, I don't know how long I'm going to be able to stick around.
Nah, that's all right.
So what's the official topic? Building a PC or Swift Linux?
Well, both. So building a PC and what distro you'd put on it.
Actually, if you're looking at low use hardware, Swift Linux will run on virtually anything.
Look at this. Hannah Montana is so flexible.
You pervert.
Hey now. I'm talking hardware here, man. Talking hardware.
Sounded like you were talking about wetware.
No, I was not. Nope. Not a bad rig, Clayton. Not a bad rig. I dig it. Yeah, Dylan, I'd meant to comment on what you said earlier, but I totally forgot. But yeah, one of the big reasons that made me pull the trigger. Okay, so I talked about it on the show before. I wanted a 5900X, not a 58. But 5900Xs are pretty much non-existent in the US right now. And when they do show up, they're sold out in 34 seconds, and bots buy 90% of them. And I didn't want to chance it, so I went ahead and bought a 58. And I said, if I can get my hands on a 59 over the next year or so, I probably will. And then I'll give the 58 to my wife. We'll do another build around that, and then just do as much hand me down as I can. But I mean, because of the chip shortage, I just don't know if 5900s will be back, and in full force. And that went with for all of the hardware really. I just was not positive that everything was going to be easily gettable. So it made me
No.
kind of panic buy. But since the sales were so great, I didn't feel bad about it at all.
One of the people on YouTube was asking about motherboards.
Yeah, we're talking about it with Dylan earlier. He was asking
Okay.
why I chose that Mobo.
Which one did you choose?
The MSI MPG B550 Gaming Edge Wi-Fi. What a
One of the
mouthful that is.
B550s, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
550 or 550M.
Yeah, I wanted to, and I didn't mention this before, but I wanted to go 550 because it's newer than the 570s by
I think
probably a year or so. So newer chips, newer audio chips, newer Northbridge, newer Southbridge, all of that stuff was revved.
I think I'm running the 450.
Yeah, the 450s were good. Especially since a lot of those supported the third gen out of the box. But now we got weird because fourth gen is 5000 series. It used to coincide. First gen 1000, second gen 2000, third gen 3000. And we just decided to skip for some reason. And now when people say fourth gen, they're going to think 4000.
Yeah,
Is
but
that
they're
right?
all intercompatible once you update the BIOS. And, well, until next generation. Once the next generation comes out, they're talking about changing the chipsets for Intel and AMD both. So no more backwards compatibility there.
Well, honestly, AMD has been on the same socket for 6 years now, and that's getting close to unheard of.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate that. But and I forget there actually is a fourth gen. They do still coincide, but the fourth gen was only a mobile thing. So laptops and small desktops and things like that. But the new motherboards only support fourth and fifth gen. Well, third, fourth, and fifth gen in a lot of cases. So you can't go back to the 1700 or 2700s or whatever. They are not as intercompatible as it sounds. Because this motherboard does not support 1000 or 2000s. Just does not at all, flat out. Because I was thinking maybe I could just buy a 1300 to upgrade the BIOS in a pinch if for some reason the little button didn't work. Because that's my biggest worry is getting the BIOS up to date. Because I assume it's not going to support the 5800 out of the box. Vermeer is just not supported.
All right, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. I have to go put some aloe on my face and cut the grass.
Ooh, yeah, I gotta cut the grass too.
Yeah, I'm not going to stick around a whole lot longer. I'm freaking tired.
So we're going to call it a night tonight.
Yeah.
Are we?
Short Saturday show.
Like
Sorry, listeners. We were planning on doing something a little bit longer, but yeah.
No, it's good. It's good. Oh look,
It's still a bonus live stream.
Yeah, really, really.
All right, you all have a good rest of your week.
Okay, Mike.
All right, guys.
Yep.
Talk to you next week.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Joe, you haven't left yet. What have you done?
That's true. I haven't left yet.
Not asking you to, but I figure I'll kill it all when you leave. I'll
All
leave,
right.
and we'll leave.
Peace out.
All right, later, Joe. Thanks, y'all, for coming in, hanging out with us for a little bit, chatting about PCs and whatnot. We'll see you guys again in 2 weeks. We'll do it again. And we'll see you next week for the show.